This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is not America's Sweetheart, Davian. And
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side flyer, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy Jane.
This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Hey guys, it's Edin Rise, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show with Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Trail One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, James J., and it is a great day for wrestling, because we are wrestling with the Midnight Heart, Edin, the New Age Rise.
Wow, I've been on a couple of shows. Never got an announcement like that.
Hey, well, we like to do it big here on Wrestling With.
You should consider yourself an announcer. You take that job.
Thank you.
But yeah.
How are you?
But yes, thank you for having me here. I'm very excited to be here.
Absolutely, it's exciting to have you on as well. And where is the Midnight Heart going to be next?
Next, I actually have a show this Saturday, 22nd of July, against one Ted Sabian for Lockhorns. Going to be an intense match. Other than that, got a show in 24th of August. It's still Lockhorns. We're still deciding a location, my bad. And yeah, that's my schedule so far.
And what can we find all things Edin Rise on social media?
So I'm mostly active on Instagram. That's Edin_Rise. But I do also have a TikTok and Facebook. That's literally just called Edin Rise.
And Dread, correct?
Excuse you?
And on Dread now as well. The new one that's like Twitter.
Dread?
Yeah, the new
Thread. Oh, Thread.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thread. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. I thought you said Dread. I was like,
no.
I have no idea what that is. No, my fault there. Yeah, I have Thread as well. I'm not on it much.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out myself. But you don't have to figure it out. All the links to all his social media will be in the links in the description of the video below, both on YouTube and Castbox. And where can we find merchandise as well?
So you cut out there.
Where can we find merchandise?
Merchandise. As of now, I don't have a site put up or anything. But if you do wish to buy some of my T-shirts, I have 2 designs out. You have to go to my Instagram and message me, and then I'll give you all the details there.
Alright, perfect. Alright, let's get into it. You work for Gen Pro and Lockhorns. Can you tell us about your relationship with those companies?
Well, Gen Pro is where I started at back in 2018, I think. It's been a while. I went there for a couple months, and I went away to get like a job and that, and then went back and started wrestling there when it was NEWW, I believe, before it reopened as Gen Pro. So, and then COVID happened, came back into it. Recently we parted ways, so I won't be at Gen Pro anymore. All on good terms. And now I've started to do some stuff with Lockhorns. I had a battle royale with Dropkicks Wrestling DKW. Honestly, I mean, all these shows, the rosters, and like the guys I meet, it's just such an amazing vibe, and I learned so much. So I'm really in a happy place right now with my wrestling.
It does seem like Rockthorns is on the rise. No pun intended. So yeah, and you just made your debut with them a couple months ago.
Yes. So originally, the plan was I was going to show up and have a part in the battle royal. But there was a scheduled match between the Demon Death Squad versus Jack Toreno and Root, and there was a pullout of the Demon Death Squad. So Keith, the promoter of the promotion, messaged me saying like they've had a pullout. Can I fill in for them? And of course I said yes. So I had a tag team match with Damien versus Jack Toreno and Rudy Root, and it was very. It was like because I've never tagged with Damien before. This is my first time meeting him as well, so it was like kind of a new experience meeting someone like Damien.
It's I mean, it's pretty awesome that you went from being in the battle royal to a tag team match.
Yeah, it was a chance to not only get more time in the ring, but I get to learn from three guys who have been doing it longer than me, have way more experience, and to also help promote Lockhorns and help put their name on the map if I can.
Now, I don't exactly know the timeline, but you took a substantial amount of time away from pro wrestling. I would like to say about a year. So coming back, I believe you came back in April of 2023.
Yes.
What if, and you came back as the New Age Rise. So what is the New Age of Edin Rise?
So the New Age of Edin Rise is I took a year away. I regrouped, sorted my life out, like both like personally and job wise. Started going to the gym more and started to think in a new way rather than my old self. So I became a new person, and you're kind of going to be seeing a new version of me, a new age of some sort of. It's literally in the name. So like a new age of Edin Rise. So I'm going to. Yeah, there's a. If you look at my gear, a year before it was black and purple. Now it's purple and white. If you look at my style now, a lot of it is still high flying, but there is a lot more grappling and submission in my game. So you're going to see that, and plus I'm also the new age to show the old generation that the new age is coming, and I'm going to be taking on all comers and taking on all veterans and showing them what the new age has to offer.
What kind of brought, like I said, you stepped away from pro wrestling for a year. What kind of brought that on?
So the big one was financial reasons.
Okay.
So I would have loved to continue wrestling. It was just at that point I live with my mum. I've always felt indebted to my mum. I love my mum. She's the reason why I'm here, and I felt bad like I'm paying for wrestling, but I'm not being able to pay for it, like rent, gas, electric. So I went on to fully stop, recollect myself, get a job, which I do have a job now, thankfully. And it's like I've got a job now, so I can help my mum out. I can also pay for myself now to just go to wrestling or travel to like more regions now. Like I've gone to Deep Dropkicks Wrestling, I've gone to Lockhorns, I want to go to Catch 22. There's a lot of wrestling promotions out there where I can travel now, and I would like that's another reason for why I wanted to go and get a job.
So it does seem like you said, it is a new age of Edin Rise. It seems like this is how can I say this? Okay, how would you view? How do you view your first stint in wrestling? That's kind of helping you in this new era, if that makes sense. How do you look back on that time?
On that time, before I came back, I was very grateful. Obviously, in the beginning, it was, like when you start wrestling, it's like it's an experience I can't really describe. It's like just baffling to you. Like you can't believe you're doing this as a job. And obviously, time went on, and like with COVID and such, I got back and I was still grateful for it. And then it was just where we got to a point where I just, near the end part, I was just like down with myself. Like, I think a lot of wrestlers will tell you this, that is, we are our own worst critic.
Oh yeah.
As that happened a lot, and I just felt that it wasn't worth it at that time as well. So I left, obviously for the job reasons I said earlier, and then I kind of like refueled myself and reimagined myself, and now literally there's not a day where I'm constantly thinking of wrestling. I used to think of it every day, obviously, but now it's like to the max where every hour something wrestling is popping up in my head, or I'm watching something wrestling now.
Well, I mean, since the last time you left pro wrestling, a lot of things have happened.
Yeah.
And like you said, you're wrestling Ted Sabin, as of this recording, you're wrestling Ted Sabin in a couple of days. And obviously Ted is on the rise as well.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell us, going into that match, what are your thoughts?
Right off the top of my head is excitement. I won't lie. Wrestling, like, I first heard of Ted from Andros J. He was like telling me stories about this boy who did a moonsault, and like if it weren't for Jay, Ted wouldn't probably be here. So yeah, so when I first saw Ted, like on a video and that, his style kind of resonated with me a bit, as we both started around the same time as well. And so it was just like that, oh, this guy seems sick. I would love to have a chance to, talk or wrestle with him. Like, and so on. We never met for like years. And like he started to change into, the emo trash boy, the hell boy now. And then there's me with my change. And I only met him a couple of months ago. And he's a chill guy, but this match, the energy he brings, the fire he brings, he is probably going to be, most likely, my toughest challenge I've had, since he has the same style as me, and I'm so used to fighting uphill battles. I'm so used to fighting these titans, these giants, and now I have a chance to really test myself against someone who's like me, I could say.
Now, the other major thing is Vickie Twothumbs, Andros J, no longer tenacity. Everybody knows the super kick heard around the world.
Yeah.
Andros is obviously now an emo trash boy. So where's your stance on all of this? Is Edin Rise on Vickie's side, Andros' side, or is he in the middle?
Well, first of all, I don't appreciate Ted taking my boy. I don't appreciate that, Ted.
Bring back EJ Thursdays.
Yeah, see, you're a cultured man. See, you know this. I've got a T-shirt dedicated to EJ. Hey, It's a pretty cool t-shirt. I might have to send it to you. Yes. Before I left, I knew there was rising tensions within the tag team of Vickie and Jay, and I was kind of there, like trying to like calm them down. And obviously, when I left, I'm guessing stuff boiled over where Andros Jay just wanted to like separate and be his own thing, and so he kicked Vickie in the face literally, and went on to his own thing. Obviously, Vickie was there from the beginning for me. I met her before I met Jay, and she has been one of the biggest supporters in wrestling for me. So was Jay, but I've known Vickie longer, and I feel like if you want to set apart from someone, you can do it in more nicer ways rather than kick him in the face. So I am with Vickie on that one. It is kind of, I don't appreciate, people turning their back on people like that. And I guess, Jay's being himself with the Trash Boys. It's easy to see where you look at him, he is comfortable with it. And I can't lie, when I look at the Trash Boys, you see it, you get it. They have that, with it. And fair play to them for making it work and all that stuff. But I can't let what happened with Vickie go that easily. So that's why Ted will find out Saturday my exact feelings on that.
And I imagine somewhere down the line, Andros J versus Edin Rise.
Never say never, but I'm up for it.
Awesome. Well, there you have it. Edin Rise's stance on Emo Trash Boys and Vickie. Right. Now, we almost never do this talking about somebody's first match, but your first match was very interesting. Your very first match was in an 8-man tournament to crown a heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
How did that come about? How did you find out about that? And what was your mentality going into that very first match?
Well, let me set the scene. So, I'm at the training area where we used to train. John Moores, who's the owner of Gen Pro, came up to me and saying, "Okay, you've had a couple of battle royals. You've had a little bit of experience now. We are going to have you do your first singles match in the tournament for the championship." I was like, "Oh wow! Like that's big. It's big to not only have a singles match, but to have it in the tournament." And not only that, it was the first Gen Pro show as well. So I think it was the whole venue was sold out as well. So it was a lot of excitement on my end, and I couldn't wait to get in there. And then he drops it like, "Oh, and you're gonna be against the Damned." I'm like, no. So I'm going against this guy who's had a lot more experience than me, and it's like the first time going out there. So it was a learning experience. It's something I'd look back on and I think about a lot with my wrestling career. And to get that opportunity, and that it was a very rare opportunity because it was the start of the business, first show, part of a major tournament against an experienced veteran. So I couldn't really have a perfect debut. As I think for me, it's perfect to have something like that. Painful, but good.
I mean, when they announced that you were wrestling the Damned, you were like, damn.
Literally, damn.
Damn. Yeah.
Oh, damn. damn. Damn it. Every time you hit me with a move, I'm just like, oh, damn it.
Right. Now, you worked a Gen Pro show where you represented a charity called A Life for Leo, correct?
Yes.
How did that come about, and what did it mean to you to represent obviously a charity that was has significant meaning, like a life of Leo.
So, A Life of Leo was. I heard about it after a training session from Randy B, who, again, he's had quite a few years in the wrestling business as a manager for Billy Briggs. And he came up to me saying one day, okay, so we've got this kid, Leo, who is going through a rare TBCD gene. And we just wondered, since like you like charity work and such, would you mind wearing his t-shirt? And I was like, yeah, all down for it. And to have that opportunity to represent a charity for a boy like Leo, it was heartwarming, and I was so proud to do it. As you don't really see it in wrestling. You get the charity events, but you don't really see someone go out there representing one particular charity. And I wanted to go all the way out. I wanted to wear like an armband with Life for Leo and such, but it was like time constraints and such. But yeah, I still follow the Instagram. I still share the posts when I can.
That's awesome. I mean, it is, like I said, it's not regularly that pro wrestlers, yeah, there's charity shows, but not a wrestler putting a whole charity on their back, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a big step to have that on me, because you want to perform, you want to give the best performance, especially for someone who's going through what they're going through. So to have that on my back, it was a bit scary. I was a bit like, God, what if I underperform? What if I mess up? Thankfully, I didn't. I gave it my all. I met Leo's mum. I ended up going to a party, like a bar for them, and I know I did a good job by how I spoke to Leo's mum and the other donators there, and they praised me, and I praised them back for all the hard work they've been helping Leo with.
And it still is a charity, correct?
Yep, it's still a charity. You can still donate. I believe it is still www.lifeofleo.com. I believe still. There is a GoFundMe for Life of Leo. There's a wish list on Amazon. They have a TikTok. They have an Instagram. It's all a Life of Leo. And even if you guys, I'm pretty sure they appreciate all the donations. But even if you guys do share his story and show love and support, that is given a lot. Even though it may be small, but it's a lot for Leo.
And I will definitely be putting the link to the website in the description of the video below, but on YouTube chat box for anybody
thank you.
who would like to donate, follow, support in any way they can.
Thank you. I'm sure they will appreciate that.
Absolutely. We like to do our part when we can. Alright, your entrance theme, Shinebox,
Yes.
you actually got permission from the band to use it?
Well, so before I say how I got it, that song is like the best song ever. I think that's my most played song on Spotify. It's just such a motivational song for me, and like it just gets me in the game, And I've listened to it multiple times, like in the gym, as I'm getting hyped up for a match and such. And so one day I was just thinking to myself, this would be a really cool entrance song. The fact that I always also get into it would definitely help me get hyped in the match, hype everyone else around me. And it would be a dream to have that song, And so I ended up messaging, I went to the Crazy 88 website, and I believe the organization is Oh, what was the name? Brain fart. Borghetto Media. That's it. And the CEO came back to me saying, "Yeah, like because I just gave outlets like I literally begged them. I begged them on Gmail saying like, I really love this music. It would be great if I could use it. Please let me use it. It'd be not only do I get to promote your song, but I get to like, show my love for you guys as I'm doing my entrance." And the CEO of Borghetto Media said, "Yep, you can use it. We would love to have you use our song. You shouldn't have any issues with copyrights as long as you don't put it in the video, just have it recorded." And like from that day on, I was gassed. I was happy, man. And it's like it's so hard to get like copyrighted music.
Oh yeah.
Like you have like these like so many promoters be like, "Okay, you can't use copyrighted songs." I'm like, I have permission. So like it's a big like I get to use music, you guys can't.
I mean, I imagine that's like a big win that you actually have. Because I was gonna say, when they use copyrighted music, usually there isn't permission. They don't get the permission. Usually it's just if there's a copyright strike, it is. But you actually have the rights to use it.
Well, yeah, they gave me like they haven't given me like a full like document to use it. They've said like, "Okay, you can use this in a video. If a copyright issue does pop up, send us the video and we'll sort it out," kind of thing. And the thing with YouTube, you can tweak it. So say if it's at a low volume, you can slip it by.
Right.
Or if it's like from a camera recording and not like put into the video, say it's just recording the sound off the camera, you can also try and you can sneak by. So that was kind of the worrying part, but now I have like their guarantee saying like, "Oh, send it to us and we'll sort it out." It's a lot of relief that came off my shoulders. I'll tell you, like everyone thinks like not only the wrestling's hard, not only the entrance hard, finding music is hard. Especially for me, because I had like my first song was a Megalovania, like a remix of Megalovania from Undertale, and that is such a unique song that you can't really find a copyright-free version of it.
Okay.
And that's what I was struggling with a lot. And then obviously I found Shinebox, and here we are now.
Right. Now we talked a little bit about them beforehand. You were part of a group called Enigmatic with Andros, Vickie, Twothumbs, and Dominic King. Can you tell us about your time in the group and your relationship with those people?
All I can think about is like the good memories we had. I remember I got invited by Jay because Jay took me under his wing and he wanted to see what I had, and so I joined it with. So I didn't have much. I didn't really talk to King that much. I haven't had much interaction with him yet. Vickie, I did. So that they joined me in the chat, and I remember I was saying in the chat like, "Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for having me here." And and yeah, it just became like we did become like a little family. Like we did Zoom sessions. We did end up like just chatting and sort of with each other on Messenger. King was always like he was the guy I would go to just like talk about games and such, and just have a laugh with. Vickie, like anything horror comes up, we immediately both chatting about it. Jay, anything like Power Rangers related or like super related, we would get into. And it was just like I never really had like a close group of friends, not even in school. If they were kind of like fake friends. But having that, it built me in a way where it made me more confident around people, and it made me more reliable, like I could be more trusting of people. And there's so many like memories to have with those guys. I think there was one video where I surprised them with a cameo from Santino Marella. The video's out there somewhere, and it's just like hilarious like reactions because Vickie's like, "You said my name. You said my name." We did like we had Christmas like little parties for each other. We played like, Cards Against Humanity and such. I'm smiling right now because it was so many good times there.
It did seem like, when you guys first got together, there was a lot of buzz around you guys. And then the pandemic happened, and then it just everything kind of dropped off from there.
It was like it was getting like kicking in a high gear then because like there was like so many Gen shows planned coming up, and there was a big picture for all of us. And obviously we had the podcast going as well, which I loved. And we were all training, we were all knuckling down, getting serious, and then this, the pandemic happened, and like everyone has a story about the pandemic. It affected someone somehow, and it even like cut off the podcast sadly as well. It cut off a lot of momentum, and like we all ended up. That's when we all kind of ended up splitting up a bit. As in, we've still Messenger, but the talks died down a lot because there was, I think King. I think that's when he had his baby, or just before or after. So he was becoming into dad mode. Vickie was working. Jay was working. I wasn't working at the time. Oh no, I was actually working at the time. What am I on about? Yes, I was working at a shop at that time. That was a job. That was a nightmare. So like, I ended up building the PC and then just like building my like online friends, I guess. And then thankfully, even though like it was like 2 years lockdown was, like 2 years. It was a lot. Roughly, yeah. So it was a big gap, but it was like. It was weird jumping back into it after such a long time, but like I like remembered like stuff, which is weird, like how to feed up, how to grapple, all this stuff. It came back to me. I'm just like, wow, that is really muscle memory, and to be back with those guys again and just have fun with them again, it made me very happy that we got back to it in the end. And my first match back was with Andros J, and that was. Still to this day, one of my favorite matches.
Alright. Now, can you tell us about the Santino Marella cameo?
Santino, so I'm a really giving person. Like I love to give like surprises and all that such. I don't know why, but I was like, okay, how can I like surprise these guys? And because this was that time where all three of them were shook, because this was after Jay's leg injury.
Right.
And King was a bit shook, Vickie was a bit shook, because this was that point where Vickie, who was teaming regularly with Andros, would have to go on her own or team with King. And the same with King. He would either go on his own or he would have to team with Vickie. And it's like, even though they're a close-knit band, when you are swapping with someone, it is a whole... There's different dynamics, different styles you're working with. So I was like, okay, let me look on Cameo. Just like... it was. I don't even think I went on Cameo for that reason. I was just looking, and I saw Santa Mirella, and then the guys popped in my head. So I think it's on the Enigmatic channel still, if it's still up, I believe.
It is.
So I recorded... Yeah, it should be.
Yep.
Recorded ourselves, like, and then I just showed them to it, and they all had a smile on it, and I think it all gave them a bit of encouragement there. And it was a way for me to say thank you a little bit, because those guys really have helped me to who I am today.
Now, you was a part of the podcast, the Enigmatic podcast,
Yes.
which I thoroughly enjoy. And we had, my question is, I mean, Andros hosted, Vickie hosted. Why didn't Edin host one?
He's probably sleeping a lot, to be honest. I think there was I was going to try and host one because I wanted to interview a wrestler. I've forgotten his name, but he used to work for this Korean promotion, the South Korean promotion. And at this time, like, one of my biggest dreams is to go wrestle in South Korea. You know, it's a place I've been obsessed with ever since I was a kid. And that was the original plan. I was going to try and find someone from, because I was talking to the guy regularly, and that's when the pandemic hit, and I kind of cut it all down, and I just couldn't find time for it as well, especially with the phone I had then, so I couldn't record my whole thing because the storage was so small, because everything was off Jay's phone and laptop.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I would like to do interviews and podcasts again. I would love to do that.
Alright, so we might be getting a podcast out of you soon.
Maybe.
Use that YouTube channel you got.
Yeah, yeah. You heard it first. Gotta find out a name for it though.
I mean, New Age Rise, obviously.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
New Age podcast.
No, there was one episode of that you was a part of, but literally said nothing because you had no audio, and that is the video game episode. Can you?
I don't.
Huh?
See, I'm trying to remember. It was a while ago, so I'm trying to remember everything about it.
Right.
Yeah, video game episode. I don't know what happened there, because I definitely wouldn't have missed that one because I'm a massive nerd.
Well, that's what I'm alluding to. You didn't get to talk about video games on that one, but can you tell us about your love of video games right now?
I love for video games. If I was to say I have 15 platinum trophies on PlayStation, I think that would probably show how much I love video games. Yeah, playing video games. My first video game was Nintendo 64 Mortal Kombat 4.
Sweet.
And, you know, it was a game not many kids can say they played Mortal Kombat with their mum. So that is something I always laugh at. But yeah, it started from a young age. Obviously, I played Just Bring It. It was probably my first wrestling game. Wrestling games have always been there. I think a game that is my favorite game of all time is a hard question for me because it changes a lot. Well, it changes between three, and that's between Red Dead Redemption 2, Call of Duty World at War, and Undertale. And obviously, those are three clearly different games. And yeah, it did become like the games for me. It's an escape. It was an escape, like escape from my world, especially in secondary school. You know, a lot went down there, and a lot in teenagers, as you know, goes down, and you go through a lot. So it was always an exit for me, and something I could just enjoy. Probably too much because I remember because secondary school, that was between like 2012 and 2016, and that's when Call of Duty Black Ops 2 was out, and every night was just zombies, just playing zombies, high levels, Easter eggs, all these, like, I've just recently started playing like the Cold War zombies because I did play it a couple of years ago, but then the PC was kind of low engine, so I couldn't really get the best out of it. And as someone, I consider myself a Call of Duty zombie veteran right now, because yeah, I just love Call of Duty zombies. Except for Vanguard. Vanguard's terrible. We can't talk about Vanguard. It's absolutely terrible.
It's always fun to play zombie video games and just kill the zombies.
Yeah. There was that time where like everything was just zombies. Like if I was gonna say 2 zombie games that pop in my head, it'd definitely be Left 4 Dead and zombies. Zombies? Yeah, Call of Duty Zombies. But yeah, my love for video games is big. I love Mortal Kombat. Obviously, being a kid from England, football, FIFA was a game I played a lot. Recently been playing more NBA, a little bit more. But yeah, I have plans to get like a sleeve on my right leg of just video game characters and items. So hopefully that will be done soon.
Okay, well we'll put a pin in that for a second. You mentioned Red Dead Redemption 2. Usually people prefer Red Dead 1 because of John Marston. So why did Part 2 have an edge on the first?
Okay. So thankfully I did play the first Red Dead when I was younger. I played the undead version as well, of course. I think because that game is amazing. Red Dead Redemption is amazing. Like if you have a chance to play that, go play it. It's the best. So I think because it was like 8-10 year wait for me to play the sequel, and not only does the story like really get to me like in a good way, like I was emotional with that story. The updated engines, the combat system was great. One of the biggest things for me, this is for every game as well, is customization. I get to customize Arthur's outfits, his hair, his facial hair. I get to customize the horse, name the horse. I get to pick choices in the game. There's a lot of freedom with that game, and I feel like Arthur Morgan, because you with these decisions, you kind of get to make him like you a bit, like how you would navigate your way, and he was so much more relatable to me than John Marston. I love John Marston, but Arthur was more relatable for me, and yeah, I think story-wise, the customization-wise, the combat, everything was just there for me.
Alright. Now, going back to the podcast, you did episodes about conspiracy theories and all that good stuff. So, what's your favorite conspiracy theory?
Oh, my favorite conspiracy. I think now, because that podcast was like years ago as well, so I've got to think of what I said. Oh god. I think was it the one? I don't think it's my favorite, but did I mention like the whole Tupac Biggie one?
The which one?
Tupac and Biggie like not being dead, like they're in hiding or something.
Yes.
I think that's what I said on the podcast. Yeah, because that was like, I was really into that like conspiracy when I was younger. Because I was like, they can't be dead. I believe they're real. They've got music coming out. Well, how can they be dead? You know?
Yes, that is correct.
Yes. The biggest conspiracy. Jeez. I think just because it makes me laugh, I wouldn't say it's my favorite one, but off the top of my head, the whole like there's 2 Ultimate Warriors. Just because like of the size difference, and people are like, no, that's clearly a different person. I'm like, no, you can literally tell it's the same guy. He's just smaller. It's like wrestling conspiracies make me laugh. Like there's one with like a photo of like John Morrison, and there's like one of those spec things in the camera, and like, it came like people were saying, oh, that's the ghost of Benoit, that's the ghost of Guerrero, no, that's the ghost of Crash Holly. I'm like, no, it's just dust. Calm down. There's so many like weird conspiracies out there.
There being the clone of John Cena seems way out there.
Yeah, that one is definitely way out there. Though he's hit it very well because the guy's done acting, the guy does wrestling, he's done music. Like he probably, who knows? Like You probably got put in a pod and they put settings in like, okay, this guy's going to learn music, this guy's going to learn acting, this guy's going to learn charity work, this guy's going to learn wrestling. And it's just like, how is this guy good at so many things? So I wouldn't put it past that somehow they have done some sort of cloning thing to make a lot of money with John Cena.
Now, have you ever had a paranormal experience? Because I know Vickie's had one. A few, actually.
Yes. Have I had one? The one that pops in my head first, my mum had one. So she said that she had a dream with me in it, waking her up or something, and then she woke up and saw someone at the end of her bed who she believed was her mother. It was that one. Have I ever had a paranormal experience? Because I do believe I do believe there is some paranormal activity in the world. It just seems like it would happen, and I don't think I've had one. Unless my paranoia acts up and I see something fall and I'm like, okay, what the hell? Can I swear?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Like, what the fuckery is going on? Why is that just falling? For the longest time, I had like LED lights behind like where I sit, and I would hear noises and I'll turn around like months and I never noticed. But it was like the LED lights slowly falling down and I never realised until it all fell down. So it was just months of me turning around like, what the fuck? What was that? So yeah, paranoia probably like sets me off.
I absolutely relate to that because, like, I have like a lot of crap in my room, and I regularly just hear things like falling, and it just doesn't bother me anymore because I know I can't tell where it fell, but I know that something fell.
Oh no, it's terrible because I have a cat as well, and my door creaks. So when my cat comes in, you just hear it creak, and like that's either my cat or someone or something has walked into my room.
I think that's a great segue into our next segment, and that is Edin Rise's Bizarre Adventure. You're a pro wrestler that goes up and down the roads, and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are bound to happen. Can you tell us a road story that fits that description?
A road story. Okay. Well, I think everyone knows like when you're wrestling and you travel in general, you will get lost, and you will go just like random directions. And I feel one in my head was I think it was at the Snodden Community Centre. Me and this guy Borg, who were driving up there, we went in a completely different direction. So it's like we didn't even realise until like 30 minutes later. I was like, oh shit, we're going the wrong way. So we had to drive like 30 minutes back. Obviously, unfortunately, haven't had many travel stories yet, as a lot of it was local.
Right.
Obviously, there's the travels with my mum, and my mum, bless her, I believe I get my paranoia from her, but she gets quite paranoid where we'd be driving up somewhere. So like last Sunday, we went and saw the Hollywood Vampires, like Johnny Depp and Alice Cooper, Tommy Henriksen, and Joe Perry, and it was a treat for my mum. Like, thank you. And yeah, we'd be driving up to the O2, and like there would come a pathway, and mum just goes, "Oh, I don't know what I'm doing, Eden. I don't know what I'm doing." Like, and she'll just give up. I'm like, "Mum, don't give up. Focus on the map." That's because then I get stressed. Then I get paranoid that we're not going to make it in time. You know, like, it's just those kind of travels with my mum's funny because we did the same thing at Ramsgate when I faced Toreno and Rudy. Sometimes it's a nightmare, but yeah, I'm looking forward to travels.
Right, and I'm sure there's a lot of bizarre adventures ahead of you on the road.
Yeah, there's definitely is. I've actually just thought of one now. So I traveled up the road with Tristan Stone, who was a referee.
Okay.
It's a good guy, a good person. I was in the car, Vickie was in the car, Jay was in the car, along with Tristan's mum and auntie, I believe, or grandma, I believe. Sorry, Sally, I forgot. Sorry, Sally. Her name's Sally, so we can say that.
Okay.
But yeah, but there was this time. I think what show was it after? Yes, it was after Dropkicks, my first Dropkick show in Leigh-on-Sea, I believe, in Essex, and we was driving back, and I had like a little energy drink. And the thing with me is I have ADHD. I was then on a sugar high, so me and Trish were just in the back, and I'm just like I'm just going off. Like somehow we was talking about Shakira. Like Shakira came up, and I just started going Shakira, yeah. As I started moving, like wiggling around in my seat, and Tristan was just losing himself. Like he was trying to not laugh, and Vickie was just done with it. Vickie was like just done with me. Like you could tell on her face, like she was like, I cannot believe I consider this guy a friend. Like, why are you here right now? And obviously, like, obviously I know my boundaries and such, but I do dark jokes and such sometimes. And with Tristan, I know he could take them, and I can take them back. I don't cross too far over the line, but there's obviously I do bad jokes, and it's just like he's laughing, but it looks of disappointment to me. And for some reason, I take pride in that. I don't know why. So when you're on like a massive sugar high, ADHD, it's probably not good to give me energy drinks, especially with someone like Jay and Vickie, who like, and Tristan, they constantly drink monster drinks. And so it's like, what's that clip? I think it was like a clip of Stewie from Family Guy. He takes like one sip of like a soda drink and he starts running around the whole room. And like, just like uncontrolled energy. And that's what happens with me if I drink too much energy drinks.
Okay. Vickie gives that Cartwright two thumbs down.
Oh yeah. Occasionally it turns into two middle fingers. But no. I love Vickie. Bless her. I love her.
Oh, absolutely. Shout out to Vickie.
Yeah, shout out to Vickie.
Right. Now can you tell us about your tattoo? Not all treasure is silver and gold mint. And the significance of that.
So, for those who don't know, I do have a tattoo on my left arm. It says "Not all treasure is gold, mate," with a sword underneath it. That sword is Captain Jack Sparrow's sword. The quote is a quote I really liked, and I wanted to get a tattoo for my mum. Like, I had tattoos for myself, my meaning, I like stuff I liked. I wanted, because if you type in mum tattoos, a lot of it is mum with a love heart.
Yep.
And no offense to those people, it's just like, it's so basic. And growing up, me and my mum had like a lot of interest the same. Like, we watched like Buffy series, we watched Friends. We were really big on like Jet Li, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, and kung fu movies. And Pirates of the Caribbean was there. Like, we loved Captain Jack Sparrow, we loved Pirates of the Caribbean. I thought, okay, since she also loves Johnny Depp as well, I thought this would also like be something that we both love. I could put it there, and it'd be something, for her and myself.
Alright, and earlier you mentioned of getting a video game tattoo sleeve.
Yes, so I have the first design piece done. I just need to get it all booked and such. The first one will be Sonic the Hedgehog and Shadow the Hedgehog.
Okay.
Coming out of one of the gold rings. I loved Sonic as a kid. I loved Shadow more as a kid. So that, I feel that was a nice one to start off with. I am looking to get Melina from Mortal Kombat, because she's been my main for years. I wanted to get an artifact from Uncharted done. I'm thinking about that. I'm also going to see if I can get the ray gun from Call of Duty Zombies done. I was thinking about Borderlands, because I know my friend Joe has a Borderlands tattoo. Shout out Joe. But then like Borderlands 3 came out, and I kind of like soured my love for it. There's like I'm at that point where I'm just like writing down ideas. Like I've got to write everything down. Yeah, so games have been like the one constant in my life. Like I'm going to be playing games the rest of my life. Like I know I am. Even if I like, somehow, touch wood, get a bad injury and stop wrestling, I'm going to be playing games still. So to show my love for those games that gave me a scapegoat from the real world and made me happy, that's somewhere I can give back a little bit and show my love for it.
And where is the Sonic and Shadow tattoo going to be?
It's going to be on my calf, so I'm going to get all the tattoos connected on my calf, like on my right leg, basically.
Okay. So you're doing a leg sleeve rather than a arm sleeve?
Yeah, leg sleeve. I have to be kind of careful with my... because I don't want to make it regret. So if it turns out bad and it's on my leg, I can cover it up, you know?
I mean, yes, Borderlands 3 was not the best, but it's still fun to play.
It's fun to play. It is. I will admit that. Me and Jay played some co-op on it. I just feel like because I'm one of those guys who love the story, I'm there for the story.
Right. The story was not great.
Yeah, like you understand. You understand. And it's like, especially with such a high, because let's be honest, Borderlands 2 is up there with one of the goats of gaming. And it was kind of like, my whole reaction to the game is, huh. That's it. It's just, huh. It doesn't shower my love for Borderlands 2, obviously, and the whole world and the art style. I feel like it's just kind of soured my appreciation and my love into it, because they went from like Borderlands 1 to then we have the Tales of Borderlands, and then 3 came out and it just felt different. It felt weird. It was fun, but it kind of felt not Borderlands to me. And so obviously after that, nothing really Borderlands came out except for the new Tales from Borderlands, which I haven't tried yet. I think just because that has happened where nothing's come out, I haven't really had a chance to explore it again, you know.
I mean, I enjoyed the new Tales from the Borderlands. It was more Borderlandy than 3, I would say.
I mean, I haven't had a chance to like probably go into it because I'm one of those guys who watch a trailer and then not try to spoil myself on it.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure I saw a clip of someone in a wheelchair like speeding down this path and they just fall over on their face, and it's just like they crawl themselves into a shark tank. And it was just like a very awkward, funny moment kind of thing. It was just like no noise background, just like the sound of glass as she drags herself along. I may check into it if I can. A lot of games are coming out nowadays, and it's like, money, it's struggle, pain.
I totally get that, but unfortunately, it doesn't. Not a lot of things are catching my eye on the video game spectrum right now. I mean, the only thing I was like, yeah, I want that is probably Cyberpunk 2099, the new DCL for that.
Oh yeah, that was a big game. That had a lot of hype around it. Thankfully, I didn't buy it because I felt like I had a sixth sense like this isn't going to end well, and it came out with all those bugs and such. But I think,
I mean, if you get it for like PlayStation 5 or Xbox X, you're not going to have.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I think like
it was not made for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
it was not supposed to be there.
It wasn't ready for it.
Right.
It definitely wasn't ready for it, especially like if you have a low-end PC. Definitely not.
No, definitely not.
But games coming out. Obviously, I have a PS4 at the moment, and I want to get a PS5 soon because they have like obviously AEW Fight Forever came out. The new Mortal Kombat's coming out, which is a must for me. I think we're just getting to that point where a lot of the games are the same, and there's just a lot of like struggles, where you're kind of getting the same old. And that's why people are looking forward to like Spider-Man 2 coming out. It may be the same game previous others, but they're tinkering with it. You get to play as Miles and Peter now. You get to be the Venom suit. You get to have like the Spider Wing suit. And they're changing it. And of course, we're getting the Wolverine game coming out, which that's going to be sick, because if you haven't played the Wolverine Origins game, which is far better than the movie, it's a sick game, and they can only go up from that game if they're making a new Wolverine.
I've never played the Wolverine Origins game.
Oh, if you have a chance, give it a shot, because it's so much fun. It's literally just hack and slash, but in an exciting way. You have so much fun with it.
Hey. I maybe read into this a little too much. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. My Hero Academia fan?
Yeah, I'm a My Hero Academia fan.
Alright, what did you think of the last season?
So the thing is, I read the manga as well, so I know what's happening.
Ah, okay.
So I haven't watched the anime season yet. I've got is this the one where they it's like all the heroes ambush the villains, right?
That was the last season.
Yeah, that was last season. So I know where I am now. So yeah, in the manga, I've seen some of the clips online. In the manga as well, I think like it's a good way, because we're so used. So spoiler alert, like if you haven't watched like the first couple seasons, but we've had such good times with the classroom, like good times, heroic moments, and obviously there's a few dark episodes. But this one is such a flip around where the heroes are lost badly, right. And it's like when I was reading it, it was like, oh, like what is going to happen now? Because this is so much has been flipped on its head now. We are going straight down the dark path. Like it's not going to stop within when I was reading it, it's not going to stop in one season. This is going to go on for a while, right. So I feel like they did it in a good way of changing it from the whole normal, the hero is beaten down, gets back up, beats down again, but comes back in the finale. Where this time it was, they're still down by the end of the season, right. They are licking their wounds, but they're still down, and they're still. I'll go for it.
Right, and it was definitely. It kind of seems like it's a trend for anime that the first 2-3 seasons is not where the show is in season 6, so to speak.
Yeah,
it's always very different.
Mm. I think a prime example for that is Attack on Titan. It's definitely a big one. As in, it's all about survival, and now there's this whole elemental reason for Titans existing and brainwashing, and it's just what if you watch the first episode of Attack on Titan and then the latest season of this Attack on Titan, you're like, what the fuck happened? You feel like you'd be watching a completely different anime.
It definitely threw me a full loop when Aaron Toreno was Sora.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I watch. I have my best friend, Amethea. We became best friends over Attack on Titan. So it was on Discord one day, and I was like she said she never watched it. I was like, yeah, I can stream it and we can watch it. And so we went on and watching it, and she obviously became a Levi simp. So which worked well because I'm a Hanji simp, so it works well. So I don't like Aaron. I hate Aaron. I just think he's a dick. you know, like obviously I get Mix is a bit needy sometimes, but he's a dick to them. He's a loose cannon sometimes, and then he just did his 180. I'm like, and when I first watched it, I was like, this boy has seen some shit. Whatever he saw, like, flash before his eyes, he saw some shit, you know?
Right.
And yeah, it's like, I don't hate him as much as I did. I'd say that. But he literally did like a full heel turn, like a full on, like, it's just a batshit, like, you know what he does. You know what he does. Like,
so basically, when he turned heel, he turned face for you personally.
Kinda, I guess. I wouldn't say like fully. Yeah, it's like, yay, like mass murder. No, that's not a good thing to cheer. Like, it was thingy because he was all about, like, you know, he wanted to protect, like, in his heart, he wanted to protect Armin, he wanted to protect Mikasa, and he wanted to be free. And so, yeah, that's what thing that pissed me off about him. Like, so this whole time, Armin has wanted to see the sea, and so like, when he finally sees the sea, everyone's like, our enemy's on the other side of that. I'm like, bruv, can you let Armin enjoy this moment? Like, jeez. And so, yeah, so after that, it was just like a complete 180. Is now he's on, like, in his head, he's obviously doing it to protect the island, but, like, he, at the cost of trying to save the island, taking out all these people, it's like, quite a shock. Yeah.
I mean, Thanos was more remorseful than he is.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a bit dumb because they could have just doubled the resources.
Yeah.
It's still a good movie, though. Still a good movie.
Yeah, I love Attack on Titan. I hate how they structured the seasons into the last season part 1, the last season part 2, and then the last season part 3. Like, just make it 3 seasons. Yeah,
I get, like, wanting to, because you want it to be perfect. You don't want any, like, mishaps, but you want to take this. I would prefer, like, the writers to do and the animators to make it, you know, as good as they possibly can.
Right.
But it's been, like, so confusing for me to know when they're coming out.
Oh yeah.
Because they dropped hints. They'd be like, oh, it'll be this fall 2023. I'm like, when is fall? Fuck. I got such a, like, I'll be so confused.
And then you have to wait, and it's not actually that date if you watch the dub, because I watched the dub.
Yeah.
So then it's even longer for them to make the dub as well.
See, this is where reading the manga comes in.
Yeah.
So I've had the privilege of, like, reading that, and so I feel like they're gonna go off a different rails because, like, I'm not spoiling anything, don't worry. But the ending of the manga got kind of backlashed for some reason, and, you know, there have been rumors of them changing it. So I'm interested to see if they stick on it or not. But what was I talking about? I forgot.
Attack on Titan.
Yes.
About it being reading the manga rather than watching anime.
Yeah. So, like, when it comes to, like, sub and dub, it's like you can either gamble with the sub or you can, like, wait. So, because if you, with the sub, you're not really gambling, you are watching it. With the dub, you have to gamble because you could get spoiled online because it comes out weeks in advance as the dub. And so I think that's what alternatively took me into the manga, because I didn't want to get spoiled or anything anymore. But I was speaking to what's his name, Taylor from is it Taylor? I forgot his name again, but he's from Rebellion, Jack Trina's partner.
Okay.
Yeah, we were talking about it, and, like, even though I do like Attack on Titan where it is now, he did make a valid point of missing the whole survival impact of, like, the first couple seasons, where it was just about survival and, like, just trying to survive and beat back these abominations, you know. And now it's at a point where it's like there's so much information to process right now, like backstories of the Titans, Eldians, humans, powers and such, where it's just like, I just remember this being about trying to survive.
Because they draw you. That's the trouble with anime. They draw you in
Yeah.
on simple themes, and then when you're locked in, they say, "Oh, you thought it was about this ball. Here's all this
Yeah.
extra shit."
Exactly. And it's just like, what? Like,
Yeah.
this made no sense. I don't think anyone saw it coming though. Like, no one saw like how it's coming. It comes around.
Yeah, I couldn't say that I did either. But I mean, we could probably talk about this all night.
Yeah, we probably could.
So we will put a pin in this for another time. Let's go into the colossal question. Let's say they're making a movie about you. Every movie has a soundtrack. What would be the first 3 songs on the Edin Rise movie soundtrack?
You've given me like the world's hardest answer to this now. So the thing is, I don't have like a select genre. I listen to all genres. And I have like over 1,000 songs on my Spotify. So this is going to be difficult. But I'd say, top of my head, would be Give 'Em Hell by Tommy Henriksen.
Okay.
That is such like a kind of vibey song. And, you know, it gets like the heart pumping and like gets you into the mood. I would have to say His World from the Sonic 06 game. Even though that game is atrocious, the song of that is such a... For me, it's a motivational song for me. And so it just makes you want to run, and I just love running. It just gets you in that mood. And third one... I'd say Wonderland by ATEEZ because it's an anthem song, and I feel like that song is just like works well with me and like, the kind of movie I'll kind of have, I guess. So Wonderland, His World, and Give 'Em Hell.
Alright. Solid 3 picks there.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we have the soundtrack down, it's on to, obviously you make the soundtrack, then you make the script, and then you get casting. Who would play Edin, and you can't say yourself because you're obligated to make a Stanley-esque cameo?
I don't know about you, but I think Lawrence Fishburne would be amazing in Edin Rise.
Okay.
No, I'm joking. I think, because a lot of people say that, I don't see it, but a lot of people say that he looks like me. I'd say Evan Peters.
Okay.
From who played Quicksilver. It would be either him or Thomas Sangster from The Maze Runner, because I always get compared to them two, and I like those actors.
Alright, fair enough. Now, every movie has a supporting cast. Who would be 3 people significant in your life that would be in your movie, and who would play them?
The thing is, like, it's kind of cheating. I'd say like my mum, King, Andros, and Vickie. So it's just another person. For Vickie, for some reason, I don't remember her second name. I think it's Kaya Scodelario. Kaya Scodelario. She's a British actress who's in Maze Runner also. That's the only person that pops in my head for some reason. Andros J. See, I think pretty sure Andros J can be just cast by any like heavy metal guitarist with red hair. You know. There was a comment I said recently about him and Ted, and I'm trying to think of the band's names.
Basically, hey, do you like rock music? Yes, I do. Alright, now you know what you're being on just say now.
Yeah, like that would be easy. I could just find anyone who does the guitarist, put some eyeliner on, get them to get them to dye their hair, and then boom, Andros J.
There you go.
I think it was. I think it was one of the. See, here's the problem with me. I'm so bad at remembering names, as you could probably tell. And I believe I said him and Ted looked like the children of Ozzy Osbourne and the lead singer of Motley Crue. So I think it was the lead singer of Motley Crue. I would say was him. No. Nikki Sixx, that's it. Nikki Sixx, that's it.
Okay.
Nikki Sixx will probably play Andros J for me. Who do we have left? My mum and King. King, I would say Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
My mum. Who can I see playing my mum? I think Queen Latifah would have to play my mum.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's my cast.
I mean,
A weird cast, but it works.
I was gonna say, this sounds like an awesome cast so far.
No, not to make the money.
And you could pre-order the tickets now. Alright, you are from the UK, so I do have 2 UK exclusive questions for you.
Okay.
The first one being Nando's or KFC?
So I might get a hate mob for this, but I've never tried Nando's, so it have to be KFC.
Okay. And is the greatest person to ever be knighted Sir Patrick Stewart?
Second. I'd say second.
Ooh, who's first?
It has to be Ian McKellen. I love Ian McKellen.
Alright, so you prefer Magneto, is what you're saying.
Yes, I prefer Magneto.
Well, you are the first person to say that he is not the greatest to be knighted, so congratulations on that.
I mean, it's Gandalf, man. I can't argue with Gandalf.
Alright, on to maybe an even more controversial subject. Pineapple on pizza. What you say?
See, I love food, so if you was just to apply it in front of me, I probably would eat it, but it's not something I would order. I'll probably get pepperoni pizza or barbecue.
Alright. What's your spirit Pokemon?
Spirit Pokemon. Lucario.
Sweet. We love the late great Tracy Smothers on the show. Do you know the acronym for THUG? THUG.
Okay, repeat.
Do you know the acronym for THUG? THUG.
I cannot. I can't think of anything.
T is for terrible. H is for health. U is for ugly. And G is for jail. Because a thug can't spell.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, there's something I learned today.
We love the late great Tracy Smothers trying to keep the memory alive. Alright, weirdest question you'll be asked on a wrestling interview. Would you ever consider wrestling a Rock? Not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual physical Rock.
I mean, if I get paid at the end of the day, yeah, let's go for it. I'll have it. You're probably way more than me, but I got it.
Well, just for context, there's this wrestler named Psycho Mike that wrestled an actual Rock for over 15 minutes and a tungsten man match. That's an Iron Man match that lasts for 2 weeks.
So what you're saying is I have to go and watch this match.
I could send you a link to it if you want.
Yeah, well, just send it to me. I've got to see this.
Yes, I will send you the link to the match, and you could maybe take a trip down to Canada to challenge said rock.
Yeah, I'll probably just message John Tavis and say he's asked for it. And then get ready. I've seen weird matches, but that's going to be interesting.
It's definitely very interesting for sure. Alright, on a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Honestly, I see myself as a champion.
Any specific championship?
It'd definitely be a singles championship. It could be any promotion, but I believe I'm on that road of proving myself and bettering myself to be a championship. Be a championship? Have a championship. I don't want to be a championship. I don't really want to be wrapped around someone's stomach for a while, so let's not. We're focusing on being a champion, Edin.
And I feel like that's definitely obtainable, maybe even in the next year. You know, even as long as the Damned is not in the match, correct?
Yeah, as long as he's not there.
Yeah.
Then I'll be fine.
What's a match people should go out of their way to see that shows off what you're all about?
Yeah, so, off the top of my head, there is a match between me and Jack Toreno. It was at Bowling Nightclub in Maidstone for Gen Pro. It is one of my most hard-hitting matches I've done. It was definitely an experience. Alongside that would be me against Furio. Those two, I think, shows what I'm all about. And obviously, because I'm the new age, not many videos are out there yet, but you're going to see the clear difference between then and now of what Edin Rise was about and what he's about now.
And could we find these matches on YouTube?
Yep. So both the matches will be on Gen Pro's YouTube channel, I believe. I believe one is Gen Pro Night 2 because they're not posted as separate matches. They're posted as like show part 1, show part 2. So I know me and Jack Toreno was on the adult Bowling Nightclub show. I think me and Toreno were night 2, part 2. I think. If I could find them, I'll send you the link.
That'd be appreciated. I will take that link and I will put it in the description of the video below on YouTube and Castbox. For
Awesome.
anybody that hasn't seen it, wants to see it, wants to re-see it after this video. Alright, and since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of the
Dun, dun, dun.
This is our speed round, our bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
I'm worried now. I'm fast in the ring, but I'm slow at talking.
Alright. Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
Greatest wrestler of all time, Jesus. For me, it would have to be entertainer-wise, Shawn Michaels. Wrestler-wise, I would say Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Worst wrestler?
Oh boy. I don't want to catch heat for this one, but I'd have to say I've seen so many wrestlers that are good in their own ways. So, oh god, Dana Brooke. I'm sorry. She's improved. She's improved where she started, but Dana Brooke.
I will accept that answer. Your main event in WrestleMania for the World Championship Who is your opponent?
Sharon Benjamin.
If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
I mean, like, Stone Cold Steve Austin's entrance was sick. It was just, especially the Disturbed version, that went hard. So it would have to be that one.
That was exactly what I was going to ask. The original or the Disturbed version?
The Disturbed version is so much better. It's like so much more badass.
Yes. Alright, finish the sentence. Kayfabe is...
Here?
Hmm?
I don't know why that popped up. Here popped up in my head.
Kayfabe is here. Okay, I'll accept that. We would have also accepted taste great on toast. Alright, squash. Vegetable or fruit?
Fruit.
That is correct. It is tornado logic. It has. New Japan wrestler Tai Chi. His ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more himself to the world. My question, what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
I guess as long as you don't see any like crack or pubic hair, you're probably fine.
Okay.
That's like, I don't know. I've seen some skinny stuff wrestlers wear, but I'm guessing that's where I draw the line.
And that's very much where you should.
Yeah.
Alright. And the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
No.
And that's the correct answer.
I mean, I've talked to my students about Darby Allin, but I've never gone to a store and like just had a fan chat me up about Darby Allin. If that ever happens, I will let you know.
Please do. If you could record the conversation, that'd be great. Because people say that they've had conversations about Darby Allin, but there isn't video proof of it yet. So maybe that's the next step we need to take.
Ah, interesting.
That will conclude this interview. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me.
No problem. Thank you for having me and dealing with my weirdness.
It was absolute pleasure, and we've interviewed more weirder characters in the past. So you will.
All right, now I feel assaulted. How dare you say it? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, I really appreciate being here. Thank you so much for giving me this.
Absolutely.
This is my first interview as well, so I'm very happy about it.
And now I'm even more happy about it to be your first ever interview.
Yeah, thank you. You did a good job. I know.
We love introducing our listeners and to new wrestlers, so that's awesome.
Cool.
Alright, and where can we find all things Edin Rise on social media and merchandise?
Well, merchandise, you message me on my Instagram, Edin_Rise. I'll give you all the details there. As I said, Instagram is Edin_Rise. My Facebook and my TikTok is simply Edin Rise. Those are the only social medias I have.
Alright, and you don't have to type it into your Google machine. All of the links to all the social media will be in the description of the video below, but on your laptop, simply click the link and your tablet here.
Yeah.
You have no excuse. Buy a damn shirt.
Yeah, buy one, please. I need money.
Yes.
I want to go get KFC, please. I want chicken.
Thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment on our new Castbox. This is sponsored by World Energy and Philip Coffee. Join us tomorrow as we interview Sabrina Kyle. And join us every Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews. And follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on Twitter, Instagram, and now on Thread. Follow me personally at JamesJ993 on Twitter. Alright, Edin, when I say wrestling wit, you say entertainment, okay? Hello?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, hello. I was waiting. Sorry.
Okay. For when I say wrestling wit, you say entertainment, okay?
Yes. I was just waiting for it. I thought he was going to go for it.
For our very special guest, Edin Rise, Kaliko Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with
Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.